Marine bounties. Ever since we heard that Cross Guild were issuing bounties on Navy soldiers, we've all been speculating on how high or low some of our favorite Marine soldiers' bounties could be, or if they even got one at all. Well, today I'm going to go through each and every character from the Navy that I believe was issued a bounty by Cross Guild, and I'll tell you guys how high I think their bounty is, as well as all the reasons I believe so. So let's get straight into it. And if you do get enjoyment out of today's video, then consider hitting that like and subscribe button. It helps me go a long way in making these videos for you guys. The first Navy soldier I want to talk about is Captain Kobe of the Marines. And Kobe has been trained by the hero of the Marines, Monkey D. Garp, in hockey as well as combat in general. And now we can assume that Captain Kobe, now at the rank of a captain, has very good armament hockey, very good observation hockey, and maybe potentially he might even get Conqueror's hockey down the road. So this poses a major threat for any pirate that he decides to chase. And we also know that Captain Kobe directly went after Boa Hancock, so he is one of the soldiers actively attempting to take down these warlords immediately upon the abolishment of the warlord system. So I'm sure Cross Guild members are also worrying that this man might go after them as well. And of course, we can't forget that Kobe is the hero of the Rocky Port incident as well. This is an incident that took place in the middle of a time skip. We don't know so many details about it. However, we know it involved him, it involved Law, and involved a lot of other strong characters. And Kobe was deemed the hero of this incident. And I'm sure this boosts his stocks even more. And Cross Guild members are looking an eye out for guys as strong as Kobe. And just for all the reasons I mentioned, I believe Captain Kobe's bounty is sitting at a solid 550 million berry bounties right now, equal to Ace's pre-time skip. I think that fits where Kobe is right now. He should climb higher on in the story. He's one of the most important characters to the story, and he's one of the most fastest growing characters as well, along with Straw Hats and Supernova. So his stocks will continue to increase. But right now, I believe there are still some guys not only stronger than him, but pose a bigger threat to Cross Guild as well. And just some food for thought here, guys. If Cross Guild actually did issue this bounty to Kobe, then it would make sense that Blackbeard captured him. I mean, from what we know right now, Blackbeard captured Kobe, but we don't really know why. We don't have a solid reason. And if he was issued a bounty and all the pirates saw this bounty, it would make sense that Blackbeard has done this. I mean, we've seen Blackbeard capture bounties before, like Ace, and it would make a lot of sense if he captured Kobe for some extra loot as well, as we know Blackbeard is always planning his future. And next up, we have Smoker. Smoker is a vice admiral. Pre-time skip, he was introduced as a captain, and after the incidents of Alabasta, of course, he was promoted to a commodore. And ever since coming out of the time skip, we find out that Smoker is now a vice admiral. Even I'm still used to calling him a captain, but he is a vice admiral now. And think about this, guys. Smoker was a huge reason that Crocodile was captured all the way back in Alabasta. He played a big role in that. We know the Straw Hats are the final ones to have taken down Crocodile. However, Smoker played a huge role all throughout that arc, and Smoker is actively trying to seek real justice in the Marines. He was even there to assist Fujitora when Fujitora wanted to abolish the warlord system, and no one else was really on his side. We even saw Greenville laughing at him in a bit, and Smoker was there. So Smoker is actively seeking justice in the Marines as well. And because of this, I think Cross Guild are going to be looking out even more for Smoker. And I believe after the incidents of Alabasta, Crocodile could potentially be holding a personal vendetta. If they are already issuing bounties, I can see him issuing a high bounty to Smoker due to the fact that he helped capture him all the way back in Alabasta. And of course, we can't forget about Smoker's Logia fruit, poses a major threat to anybody. His smoke fruit, and even with hockey now, Logia abilities are still deadly. So this is something the Cross Guild will definitely have to look out for. And due to all these reasons, like I said, I'm putting Smoker at an 844 million berry bounty right now. That's a heavy bounty. That's borderline Yonko commander level, and I think Smoker deserves it, honestly. And like I said earlier, I believe Crocodile could be holding a personal vendetta against Smoker after the incidents of Alabasta. So Smoker, again, 844 million berry bounties. And next up, we have Greenville. And Greenville, of course, is a admiral, the highest ranking level of a Navy soldier aside from fleet admiral. And upon his introduction, we find out that Greenville has the forced fruit, easily one of the deadliest abilities in One Piece, one of the deadliest Logia abilities, and this is an ability that all members of Cross Guild are going to have to seriously look out for. Not to mention, in the latest chapter, we find out that Greenville actually captured Edward Weevil, and if Cross Guild get hold of this news, this can be a big deal, as this shows that Greenville is actively seeking out the former warlords upon the abolishment, and he could be coming for them next. Seeing Greenville capturing Weevil could mean that Greenville is coming for anyone else next. He could be coming for Mihawk, for Crocodile, for Hancock, for Buggy, for absolutely anybody, and I believe Cross Guild is going to plan ahead and issue a high bounty on his head because of this. And of course, we saw he invaded Wano, he fought with Yamato, the Scabbards, and many others, and eventually fled because of Shanks. So we got to see some of his powers as well, and I'm sure the news of him entering Wano and fighting these strong characters have broken out as well. And of course, Cross Guild know how strong he is off his title as Admiral alone. But at the end of the day, Greenville to me seems like a laid-back character. He doesn't seem like the most determined guy to take down these warlords like some of his fellow peers that I might mention later, or even like Smoker like I mentioned before. So I don't think he's going to get issued a crazy high bounty. And because of this, I believe that Greenville's bounty is going to be a flat 2 billion berries. I think that's suiting for him right now where he is. Moving on to Kizaru, one of the best and most overpowered devil fruits in the series, the Pika Pika no Mi. Practically every top tier got to see how OP this fruit was when he showed it off at Marineford. He had a fantastic performance at Marineford, going one-on-one with Whitebeard, one-on-one with Marco, and one-on-one with many other strong characters, and he came out alright. So Kizaru is on the map for everyone. Everybody knows how strong this guy is. So when it comes to strength, Kizaru's got that covered. Now, when it comes to determination, Kizaru, as we all know, it's no big secret, he's not the most determined character in the series. He's not the most determined Navy soldier, and it's hard for me to see Kizaru actively seeking out former warlords, especially strong ones like Mihawk, and trying to bring them in. And because of this, I don't believe Kizaru is going to get the highest bounty as well. However, I will say this. It depends a lot on what he does in Egghead, and since we're still waiting for him to arrive on Egghead, once he enters Egghead, I believe that whatever he's capable of doing there, whatever he's able to show us, will have a significant impact on the bounty that he has when Oda eventually shows us it. So the bounty that he has depends heavily on what he does in Egghead. But right now, I have Kizaru's bounty sitting at a solid 3,222,000,000 berry bounty. Above Luffy, above Law, above Kid, above Blackbeard's initial bounty, and lower than Blackbeard's current bounty and Mihawk's current bounty. I think that's very fitting for Kizaru. And moving on to Fujitora, and of course he is an admiral just like Kizaru and Greenville. But with Fujitora, here's where things get a little spicy. So not only does Fujitora have one of the most deadly and destructive devil fruits in his gravity devil fruit, and the ability that it has to do mass destruction to multiple people at once, but you also have to remember that Fujitora is the one that caused Doflamingo tons of problems all the way back in Dressrosa that eventually led to Fujitora and the Marines arresting Doflamingo, a former warlord. And not only this, but Fujitora and Fujitora alone is the sole reason the warlord system was abolished in the first place. If it wasn't for the burning desire of Fujitora on constantly insisting to abolish and get rid of this warlord system, this system would still be in place today, and Crocodile and Buggy and Mihawk would not have nearly all of the problems that they have today. If the Cross Guild should be targeting anybody at all, it should be Fujitora. And Fujitora overall is a very peaceful, laid-back kind of guy, relaxed kind of guy, but he has a very strong sense of justice, and the warlord is something that always rubbed him the wrong way, and he always wanted to get rid of that system, and he finally did. And it's funny because I can see a character like Buggy with his personality type just despising a character like Fujitora with his personality type, because I think they're complete polar opposites in the way they are, where Fujitora is a much more stoic and justful character, and Buggy's just a loudmouth and evil most of the times, if we're being honest. So I can see Buggy being pissed off that this man is the reason that all of this hell is breaking loose on the warlords right now, and I can see every member of Cross Guild having a personal vendetta against Fujitora. And because of all these reasons, I have Fujitora sitting at 3,350,000,000 berry bounties. I think he is more than deserving of a bounty that high. And last but not least, we have Akainu. Akainu, of course, as we all know, is the Fleet Admiral of the Marines, possessing one of the deadliest Devil Fruit abilities in this series in the Magma Fruit. We all saw what this fruit could do at Marineford when he killed Ace, when he was a part of the reason that Whitebeard died, and we know with this fruit, practically anybody can die within one hit of a full point blank hit of this fruit. That goes for Mihawk, that goes for Crocodile, and that goes for the strongest members of Cross Guild. And I'm sure they are all worried about Akainu. Not only this, but Akainu is basically insane. Let's be real. Akainu is a madman. Once he has his eyes set on something, he locks on it and he's not gonna stop until he gets the job done. Cross Guild may despise the Marines for abolishing the warlord system, but if there is one person in the entire world of One Piece that has always despised pirates and everything they stood for, it is Akainu. And he is, if he decides to go after Cross Guild, he is gonna be easily, without a doubt, the biggest threat for them, and they all know this. And not only this, but you got to think of how strong Akainu is to be Fleet Admiral to begin with. So you can't just issue any bounty. You got to issue a bounty that is going to attract characters that are strong enough to beat and capture Akainu. So you got to put up a number that's going to attract the Yonko's attention, that's going to get the Yonko's thinking, and you got to put up numbers that's going to get the strongest of the strongest to go after Akainu. So because of this, I think Akainu's bounty has to be a solid flat 4 billion on the dot. 4 billion berry bounties for Akainu. And I think that's good, as well as it's just under Shanks's and just above Blackbeard. And I know bounties aren't strength related, however, we can get ideas of how strong a character is by their bounty. And I think being below Shanks and just above Blackbeard is where Akainu should be anyways. So a quick recap here, guys. First, we have Captain Kobe at a 550 million berry bounty. Second, Vice Admiral Smoker at 844 million berry bounty. Third, Admiral Greenville at a flat 2 billion berries. Fourth, Kizaru at 3,222 million berry bounty. 5, Fujitora at 3,350 million berries. And last but not least, Fleet Admiral Akainu at 4 billion berry bounties. Well, if there's one thing we can all agree on, is that is a lot of money for Cross Guild to be issuing bounties. And you might be wondering, where are Cross Guild going to get this kind of funding? Who could possibly help them out with this kind of money? Well, you're going to want to watch this video right here, and you might just get your answer for that. So go ahead and check that out, guys. I'll see you over there. Thanks for watching as always. Nature Boy out.